A package came in the mail today. Let's see what's inside. Welcome back, everyone. Today we've got a mail call. You might be wondering, what's in the box? Well, inside this box is something that I ordered from Civivi. I was going to make the joke about how they sent it to me for free, but I'll just be honest with you. I'm not that well known yet. Good news is that because I'm not that well known where they're sending me free stuff, I can still be objective. You know why? Because just like you, I paid my own hard-earned dollars for this bad boy. That's right. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here's the irony. Using an Arcform Slimfoot Auto, there we go, to unbox a Civivi. Why not? That's what they're there for, right? It's a Civivi buttonlock Elementum. Now, I've had one of these before. Probably shouldn't have put this away too soon. I've had one of these before, and let's get this in there. It wasn't the button lock Elementum though. The one that I had before was the Civivi Elementum, the OG, the one with the flipper tab and the short blade that was like 3 inches. And you know, honestly, it was great and I loved it. If you are familiar with Civivi, they send their knives in these plush cases. It's actually kind of a nice, it's a nice touch. I mean, when I carry a knife, I'm not going to carry it in a case. And I'm not going to put it in a plush case afterwards because it's a Civivi. It's not a $5,000 safe queen. So be that as it may, what do we got here? All right. So forgive me for my clumsiness, but we're going to start off with this. We got a cleaning cloth, which, you know what, I really like because you cut something, it's nice to be able to clean the blade off with. So these are a nice touch. Plus, if you have sunglasses, it works for those too, or, you know, nicer knives. Of course, you always get the Civivi stickers. Who doesn't like some stickers? And, ooh. Wow. Yeah, there it is. The Civivi button lock Elementum. Right off the bat. That feels good. So, I have other button locks. Now, based on what I read before I ordered this, the blade won't open when it's in the shut position. So let's see. Yeah, that's not opening, guys. It's locked in the shut position. So let's see what it flips like for the first time. Got to press and hold the button. First shot. Hey now, that's smooth. I'll double check. I think that's on bearings. I don't think that's on phosphor bronze. Let's see if I can get a middle finger flip if I just time it right. That's tough. Kind of. I think that if you get the timing right, I think you can middle finger flick this. By the way, guys, not a review. This is an unboxings and first impressions. Hey, you know what this kind of reminds me of? Because that's just fun, okay? And look at this. Those bearings are really smooth. I was gonna say this reminds me of the fidget factor with the AD 20.5. Now, if you don't know how I feel about that knife, I did make a video, and I'm going to post it right up there. If you don't know how I feel about the AD 20.5, feel free to hit pause, click on that link, come back. that's another knife that is super, super fun to play with. I do have some feelings about it, but I'm looking around for something to cut. I'm curious to see out of the box, factory edge, will it cut? I'll find something to cut with before the end of the video, and we'll see how good the factory edge is on these. I'm never really, stoked on factory edges because usually they're not very well refined from the factory. But just test this on my fingernail real quick. Yeah, it's grabbing. I think that's sharp. How sharp? We'll find out. So stay till the end. You'll get to see how sharp these come from the factory. I'll make sure to cut a piece of paper or something so we can see how clean that edge is at least. And wow. Yeah, no, this feels great. I'm noticing that I can get a full, even with these hams of hands, I'm getting a nice grip on there. That's great. Feels good. I don't even necessarily mind the Civivi logo. The other thing I'm noticing, speaking of logos, there's really no billboarding on this. The only lettering I can see is the C on the pivot for Civivi, and it's on this side. Right there, tiny lettering. You probably won't be able to see it, maybe a little bit. It says 14C28N. That's the blade steel. I'm not disappointed at all in that blade steel. For $55-$60, I mean, come on. That's damn good. Wow. I know people love the spec sheets and the knife comparisons and, what's the footprint versus a Spyderco Delica. Sorry, that was a terrible impression. But let's roll to that. By the way, hit like and subscribe if you've ever ordered a knife thinking that it was bigger than it was because the pictures make it look bigger than it was. That's what she said. Roll it. This specific Elementum has an overall length of 8 inches, with a hollow ground blade just shy of 3.5. The handle scale material is a grippy but not uncomfortable black G10, and the pivot rides effortlessly on cage ceramic bearings. But an unboxing isn't about reviewing the knife based on its spec sheet. It's about sharing the experience of what it feels like to hold one brand new and experience the joy behind the addiction. In fact, this can't be a review because reviews should remain as unbiased as possible. And the thrill of opening a new knife is the honeymoon period in which we forget about all the small things that will later cause us to fall out of love with the beauty that entrapped us the first time. Holding the Elementum in my hands for the first time reminds me why I became addicted to this hobby in the first place. Proof that there is a difference between cheap and affordable. That you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to buy something that will plaster a smile on your face and make the neighbors think that you finally lost that final marble that remained of your sanity. While I may have a screw or two loose, the buttonlock Elementum does not. The fit and finish brand new out of the box is excellent, and for the $55 before tax and shipping, I'm doubting there's anything out there quite like it. I do have one disappointment, but it's something that I knew I would face when I hit the checkout button. The gooseneck pocket clip. It's serviceable for sure, and it is deep carry, but the design seems to be there almost strictly to remind you that regardless of its other qualities, you spent $55. I can forgive the pocket clip for now since I'm having such a fun time playing with the Elementum, but trust me when I say I will be looking for a replacement clip in the future. Now, I generally base my recommendations on if I lost the knife today, would I go out and buy another one? Since I haven't carried this blade for any amount of time, it would be careless of me to recommend this right now. But if I was a betting man, I'd say the odds are pretty good. I truly can't get enough of this Elementum. This is just endless entertainment right here. I mean, it feels so good. It feels solid. It doesn't feel too light. It doesn't feel too heavy. It doesn't feel too bulky. The action on it, you can tell it's on bearings, and you don't hear any grinding or feel any grinding. And that's impressive to me. I've just been enjoying this. The whole time I was editing my B-roll for this video, I was just doing this the whole time. And when you get a super fidgety knife like this, you got to just get it out of your system. And my first impression is definitely a good one. I did have an Elementum before this, but it wasn't the button lock. The Elementum I had before this was the original that just had the flipper tab and the action was really smooth. Now, I know that the one thing I didn't touch on in that overview, the B-roll, was showing how sharp it was. There's a bald spot. There's a bald spot on my arm. But instead of showing you a bald spot on my arm, I'll just use this, the invoice. Clean cuts. It is sharp enough to shave with. I can get it sharper, and I hear that these are actually pretty fun to sharpen. So as of right now, I just think that it's my first impression is a good one. Guys, that's all I got for you.